Monte Cristo Pale Cream is my favorite drink. Pale in color, yet rich in taste.
Ice Cold Ripple is the new drink for lively people. It's the wine that winks back at you. The Ice Cold Refresher with twice the pleasure. Next time you feel like a drink, have a Ripple.
Over time, some wines that used to be all the rage in the United States and United Kingdom have vanished for different reasons, like changing tastes, production shifts, and economic issues. A nasty insect called Phylloxera wiped out many European vineyards in the late 1800s, changing the wine scene and causing many grape types and wine styles to fade away. So in this video, we'll be delving into wines that are no longer available, from Madeira of the Portuguese island to the biggest of all time Bulgarian wines, so stick around till the end. Back in the day, limited transportation and refrigeration meant most wines in the United Kingdom and United States were from nearby areas. One is British Claret. Do you remember them? For centuries, Britain had a strong trade relationship with Bordeaux in France. British consumers particularly enjoyed lighter-bodied, earlier-drinking clarets, red wines from Bordeaux, compared to the more full-bodied styles that dominate today.
Cella Lambrusco, a very special red wine.
The Phylloxera outbreak and changing consumer preferences led to a decline in British claret consumption. In the Middle Ages, Bordeaux wine was a dark rosé spiced drink, which is why it was called claret, derived from the French word clairet. It evolved into the dry, dark red wine we know today in the 18th century. The Bordeaux wine industry faces significant economic challenges, including fierce competition from New World wines and a decline in wine consumption among the French. In 2004, exports to the US dropped 59% in value from the previous year, and sales in Britain fell by 33% during the same period. The United Kingdom, a major market for Bordeaux, now imports more wine from Australia and has a growing preference for Chilean red wines. Several factors contribute to these changes. Bordeaux wines are typically blends of multiple grape varieties, while many New World wines are made from single grape varieties like Cabernet Sauvignon, Merlot, Pinot Noir, Syrah, Shiraz, and white wine grapes such as Chardonnay and Sauvignon Blanc. Consumers find it easier to choose wines labeled by grape type. Additionally, cheaper French wines become much more expensive when exported due to heavy taxes. For example, a French wine that sells for under £1 at home might cost £4 or more in the United Kingdom. As a result, customers often find better value in wines from other countries. After the Phylloxera outbreak that changed the wine landscape in Europe, we now look at another interesting case, Madeira. This fortified wine from the Portuguese island of Madeira was once a staple in both the United Kingdom and the United States. Its long shelf life and resilience during travel made it ideal for sea voyages. However, shifting preferences towards lighter wines and the popularity of other fortified wines like sherry led to Madeira's decline. Here's a deeper look into its fascinating history. Discovered in the 15th century, Madeira's volcanic soil was perfect for grape growing. Initially, the wines tended to spoil during long journeys. However, it was discovered by accident that the heat and constant motion at sea actually improved the wines. This led to the creation of fortified Madeira, where brandy was added during fermentation to increase alcohol content and stability, making it perfect for long voyages. Madeira became highly prized by explorers, colonists, and eventually European and American royalty and aristocracy. Its rich flavor profile, ranging from dry to sweet, and its remarkable longevity made it a luxurious and versatile drink. Notable figures like George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, and John Adams were fans of Madeira. Its long shelf life made it ideal for stocking up, and its bold flavors suited the palates of the time. But then came the 19th and 20th centuries, and so with them came the decline of Madeira. With improvements in transportation and refrigeration in the 19th century, consumers began to prefer lighter, fresher wine styles. Madeira's rich oxidized character became less popular. Sherry, another fortified wine from Spain, became a strong competitor. Sherry producers focused on creating lighter styles that matched the changing consumer preferences, further reducing Madeira's market share. Moreover, the global disruptions caused by the world wars significantly affected Madeira's trade routes and production capabilities, making it harder for the wine to adapt to changing markets. It's interesting to note how American sherry, which played a part in the decline of Madeira, eventually faced its own challenges.
Bottle of Seppelt sherry, please. Seppelt, sir? Medium Solero. Only Seppelts make Solero sherry, selected and aged for 14 years to give you Seppelt's Medium Solero, the sherry more people are enjoying every day.
Seppelt Solero sherry.
Before the devastation caused by phylloxera, the United States boasted a thriving wine industry along its east coast. Producers crafted sherry-style wines using native grape varieties like Catawba. Sherry itself has a rich history closely intertwined with Spanish wine production, particularly in the region of Cadiz, where its origins trace back to the early Phoenician settlement of the Iberian Peninsula. The triangular region encompassing Jerez de la Frontera, El Puerto de Santa Maria, and Sanlúcar de Barrameda still defines the modern denomination of sherry. As one of the world's oldest wines, its evolution has been influenced by a multitude of empires and civilizations, including the Phoenicians, Greeks, Romans, Moors, Spanish, and British. While sherry may not enjoy the same level of popularity as it once did, it remains one of the wine world's most unique and historically significant expressions. During the 19th century, sherry vied with Rioja for the title of Spain's most renowned wine and was often hailed by wine critics as one of the world's premier white wines. However, it faced competition from sherry-like wines emerging from South Africa, the United States, Australia, France, and Germany. Then, the inevitable struck with the phylloxera plague. As the 20th century began, sherry merchants embarked on the arduous task of replanting their vineyards and reclaiming lost ground in the wine market. In 1935, the region achieved Denominación de Origen status and began efforts to trademark the name sherry for the distinct wines produced in the area, a designation now recognized within the European Union. Despite these endeavours, sales continued to dwindle by the end of the 20th century as sherry fell out of favour among consumers, particularly in emerging markets like the United States, Japan and Australia. Moving on, after sherry, there is one more popular wine that is almost gone today. We have Blue Nun, a sweet German Liebfrau milk.
For a classical Rhine Valley wine, Blue Nun. Blue Nun, the modestly priced German white wine that goes with everything. One sip and you're converted.
In the 1970s and 1980s was a huge hit in both the United States and United Kingdom. However, as wine trends shifted towards drier varieties and consumer tastes changed, its popularity dwindled. Blue Nun originated as a German wine brand launched by H. Sikel Cerner, Mainz, in 1923 with the 1921 vintage. Until the late 1990s, it was predominantly classified as a Liebfrau milk, but today the name encompasses a variety of wines from different origins. The label was designed to be consumer-friendly, standing out from the numerous German wine labels with complex names and Gothic script. Sichel targeted the export market, particularly in the United Kingdom, when it established its United Kingdom office in 1927. Blue Nun gained widespread popularity after World War II in the United Kingdom and US, fetching prices comparable to second-growth red Bordeaux wines. In its heyday around 1984-1985, annual sales in the United States reached 1.25 million cases, with an additional 750,000 cases sold in other markets. The 1970s saw a series of radio adverts featuring Stiller and Miara, which significantly boosted sales by a staggering 500%. However, as the late 1980s and 1990s rolled in, the popularity of easy-drinking semi-sweet German wines began to wane. Consequently, Blue Nun's appeal declined and the wine came to be seen as outdated and passé. But the biggest of all time are Bulgarian wines. The roots of Bulgarian winemaking run deep, dating back some 3,000 years to the time of the Thracians. These ancient Indo-European tribes inhabited the region from around 1000 BC to the 6th century AD, spanning a vast territory from the Carpathian Mountains to the Aegean Sea. Renowned as skilled warriors, craftsmen, and avid wine enthusiasts, the Thracians left an indelible mark on Bulgaria's wine culture. Historical accounts even credit a Thracian named Evmolp as the first European wine grower. Their love for wine was legendary, with references in works like Homer's Iliad to the honey-sweet black wine of Thracian origin. Even under Ottoman rule from the 15th to the 19th centuries, Bulgarian winemaking persisted, with the Christian population permitted to produce and enjoy wine as part of their religious practices. In the 20th century, Bulgaria's wine industry underwent significant changes. Following World War II, the communist government nationalized wine production, prioritizing quantity over quality and replacing indigenous grape varieties with international ones to meet demand, particularly from the Soviet Union. By the 1980s, Bulgaria had become a major exporter of bottled wine worldwide. However, the winds of change blew with Mikhail Gorbachev's anti-alcohol campaign in the Soviet Union during the mid-1980s. The resulting dry law dealt a severe blow to Bulgaria's wine exports, leading to the uprooting of vineyards and a decline in production. During the Cold War, Bulgarian wines, especially reds like Cabernet Sauvignon and Merlot, found favour in the United Kingdom due to favourable trade agreements with Eastern Bloc countries. However, the fall of the Iron Curtain and increased competition from other wine regions led to their decline in the international market, with Bulgarian wines largely disappearing from shelves in the United States and the United Kingdom. Well, that's it for today. We have seen how changes in taste, economy, and production have affected the wine market. From claret to Madeira and sherry, each wine has its own unique history and challenges. What are your thoughts on these changes? Do you think any of the can make a comeback? Let us know in the comments and don't forget to subscribe for more fascinating wine histories.